Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you are, hi, my name's Hermione, and on this channel I like to do DIY, home renovation, lifestyle videos, vlogs, little bit of everything to be honest. So if you like that kind of stuff, do hit the subscribe button and stick around for a while. Cool. Okay, so in today's video I am going back to my roots because it's been a while and I haven't made a good old-fashioned DIY room decor video in quite some time. And I've missed it, I'm not gonna lie. My poor glue gun feels very neglected. I haven't used him in a long time, so he did get an outing for this video because we are doing DIY room decor on a budget. And in this video I actually picked up most, if not all of the supplies from my local Poundland, which is kind of like a UK equivalent of the dollar store. Everything's really cheap. It's kind of rubbishy, but that's why I love it. But if you don't have a Poundland nearby, hopefully most of these things are pretty much universally quite inexpensive to pick up, so they shouldn't cost you that much. And fingers crossed that you like some of the projects, because I did make quite a few today. So without further ado, let's jump in and I'll show you guys what we made on a budget. Now every year in the summertime, Poundland do these plant stands in their garden section, so I always pick them up and I think, what could I do with these? If you can't find them in Poundland, any good garden centre should probably have them, and they're really inexpensive, but they're kind of boring, not gonna lie, so they could do with a little pick-me-up.
So for this piece I wanted to make it feel a little bit more bohemian and just a little bit more natural, so I'm using this crafting rope and wrapping it around all of the legs and every piece of metal that I can find on this plant stand. It gives it more of a soft look instead of it being a bit more sharp and industrial looking. So as you can see here, all I'm doing is wrapping the string around and then using my glue gun every like 2 or 3 wraps just to add a little bit of glue so it stays in place. And this is how it turned out. It looks completely different. It probably took me about an hour. I put Netflix on in the background and I just went for it. One thing I would recommend doing is spray painting it the colour of your string before doing this, just so you've got none of the original colour poking through. I wish I had remembered to do that, but I completely forgot, but luckily my rope was quite thick, so it wasn't too bad, but just a heads up.
I found this circular mirror in the wedding section in Poundland and I knew I had to do something with it, so I decided to turn it into this very modern minimalist piece that's perfect for a dressing table or somewhere in your bedroom.
So for this project I'm using a very inexpensive piece of batten wood. This was from B&Q, I think it's under £2 per length, and I'm cutting it down to size to fit my mirror, which was about 25 centimeters each. I cut 2 pieces of this and I just used a really small hand saw that I had lying around and cut the pieces down. This is just to show you that you don't need any fancy equipment. If you don't have it, you can use something that's quite inexpensive. So then I also just sanded the edges to make sure that they were nice and smooth. Once they were done, I decided to coat the pieces of wood with a little bit of Danish oil. Now this isn't really like a stain, but it does bring out the natural colour in the wood and it just makes it look a little bit more vibrant and a bit deeper. So it won't ruin your surfaces or anything, but it is lovely to put on natural wood. Then I placed the mirror on top of the first piece of wood, and to stabilize it underneath I used another piece of wood just to make sure it was at the same height, and for this all I'm using is my glue gun to glue it in place. I couldn't find my wood glue, but actually the glue gun did the job. It dried nice and quickly and it was very firm and stable, and I've still got this thing up as we speak. I'm looking at it, so it's quite strong and the mirror's quite light, so I don't mind using a glue gun, but if you make this on a bigger scale you might want to use wood glue. And this is the finished result. I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. Also, someone on Instagram did let me know that the Sorry Girls have done something quite similar to this at some point, so I will try and find the video that they made and link it down below if you guys want to see it, because they are actual professionals and they do a really good job of DIY. So if you want to see how they made their mirror, I'll link it below, so go check that out.
day I found these really interesting peel and stick tiles in Poundland, and I thought that they're quite a versatile craft item, so I had to put them to the test. So here's what I made.
For this piece, I also had to pick up a photo frame from Poundland, which was conveniently only £1. So for this, all I did was flip it over and take out the bits from the inside. This isn't really necessary because I'm going to spray paint it anyway, but I just thought I would do so. You can take out the glass if you're worried about the glass, but if not, don't worry. So then I just took the flexible tile. I don't know what you call these. Are these like sticky tiles? I don't know. And I started cutting them with scissors and trying to cut them down to size. It's so easy. They're actually a really fun and versatile craft project. And I just cut them to the size of the frame and stuck it down. Take care while placing the tiles, as it's not super easy to peel them back off and stick them down again. They are quite durable. And you might be able to tell that I did cut this a little bit too small on either side, but you couldn't really tell once I'd spray painted it at all. So I spray painted it in this really nice matte black colour. I wanted something a bit different for once. And then I'm just using it in my room to corral a few of my bits of jewellery, and it works really well. I think it looks really cool for something that costs £2 and a bit of spray paint, so definitely one to try if you find those sticky tiles lying around in your local Poundland or budget store.
Every year in the garden section they have loads of different lights and solar powered lighting options for your garden, and I thought this year I could try and turn one of these things into something that you could use inside your home as well. So I did just that.
I always see these plastic cocktail bowls in Poundland and I never know what to make out of them, so for this one I'm just taking it and flipping it upside down, and then I'm taking the solar powered light, and the solar panel is actually on the top of this, as you can see, so if I put it in the top of the bowl and glue it down, it will still be able to catch the light, so there's no problems there. All I did for this was bring out the trusty glue gun again and add a little bit of glue around the rim, making sure to not touch the solar panel, and then I gently stuck it right in the middle of the bowl, and luckily there's about a centimetre spare at the bottom so it doesn't touch the table. So yeah, I went on to actually add a little bit of rope around the lip of the bowl because I felt like it looks a little bit plasticky. You can forego this step if you want, or if you don't have, you know, a theme that matches this, or you could find something else to wrap around it because, you know, crafting is versatile. But there we go, that's literally it. I did like 2 things to this and made it happen. One thing about this lamp is that I didn't know it was multicolored, so it glows red and green and blue, so I'm not particularly happy about that, but I'm sure you could find one that's plain if you look hard enough.
Last but not least, this is possibly the most basic project out of all of them, but I decided to throw it in anyway because I thought it was fun, and I found these really interesting vases in Poundland recently. Poundland have a great selection of ceramics and vases, but not all of them may suit your design taste or style. Some of them can be a bit bright or garish, so I decided to just give them a good old hit of spray paint and show you guys what you can make.
This is so simple and self-explanatory, but I thought I'd show you because I actually used a primer underneath the spray paint because it really helps adhere the spray paint. And for the zebra I'm using just a stone effect, and then for the cactus I'm just using a silver, and that's literally it. Sorry, super quick DIY, but I wanted to show you because they had some really interesting shaped vases and I really liked them, just didn't love the colours.
So that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. My glue gun is definitely very happy that he's back in business and DIYing again. So if you want to see some more, do let me know. But I do hope that this just gave you a bit of inspiration and let you think that, you know, not all home decor has to be expensive. In fact, it doesn't have to cost much at all. You can make something really personalized on a budget. So yeah, anyway, that's everything. So I hope you guys have a great week. And with all of that being said, happy DIYing, and I'll see you next time. Bye!